All right, what's up, Alex?
What up, bro?
Not much, man. Crazy week this week a little bit, yeah?
Another week in 2020, man.
What else is new, man? What else?
What a time to be alive. Baseball's back, baby.
Let's go! Baseball is back.
Baseball is back, my friend.
All you baseball fanatics out there, get hyped.
Cardinals Nation.
Nah. Be royal, baby.
Thank God. Hey, you know what? I'll just cheers you regardless because I don't give a shit what I'm watching. Last night we went to a real bar with real people there.
Whoa.
For Hugo's birthday.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy.
I know, you actually get to go places a little bit now as long as you're safe.
I know.
Do what you're supposed to do.
Socially distanced. I gotta be honest though, man. Not a lot of people were socially distancing.
Nah, nobody's gonna do that.
Nobody was socially distancing.
Nah. It's not
I think there was 2 girls with masks on.
That was it? Out of the whole bar?
Out of the whole bar. And they were only there for a little bit, and they were wasted, and then they left. And after that, it was pretty much just a shit show. I was pretty sober because we'd been on a bender all weekend, so it was kind of fun watching those people just getting absolutely lit up. But there was baseball on. I was like,
let's go.
Really? Baseball? It's back?
It's crazy.
Thank God. Yeah, man. Opening day. Thursday, I think?
Yeah. Wow, Thursday.
Yeah, pretty sure it's Thursday.
Crazy. All right.
Yeah.
Some kind of sports is back, baby. Let's go.
Baseball is back. So that's good. Amidst all the craziness. And God dang it, I just listened to Nancy Grace talk about her, and I was like, oh, that's how you say her. Ghislaine?
Ghislaine? I think it's Ghislaine.
No, dude, that's not how Nancy Grace is saying it.
Anyway, oh, well, whatever.
Nancy Grace is all over her, dude.
Is she really?
She is all over her. And it's going to be crazy whenever the conspiracy theories stop being so conspiratorial.
Yeah. I know. Everybody's like, no, surely not, but...
Oh, pedogate. Conspiracy theory.
Yep.
Well, I was also reading that Epstein's Epstein's pedo island used to be like a conspiracy also.
Yeah, but then, so many people actually, what's going on, Wolverine? He's talking about a Twitter poll I've got going for the stream, trying to name my community. So yeah. Is what it is. But
yeah, anyway, it's amazing to me that Fox News is actually all over Maxwell. It's mainly Nancy Grace, but it's in the real news.
That's crazy. It's actually made it.
News. I know.
It's crazy. It's sort of like going on to that. I saw a post on Facebook. I think it was either yesterday or 2 days ago. And take this with as much salt as you think is necessary, but it was a string of photos of high profile people that have died, and like what they were connected to, kind of sort of with the Epstein/Clinton like connections, and I wish I would have saved it because I accidentally backed out of the post, and then once you do that on Facebook, it's gone forever. Like I had no hope of finding that again. But it started with Paul Walker, I guess, was the most recent one on there, and apparently he had found out a bunch of things linked to sex trafficking and other shit like that through his charity work in Haiti, and apparently it was all linked to the Clintons.
Yeah.
And when his car exploded, he ran that bitch into a tree supposedly. Yeah. And it caught on fire, but eyewitnesses at the scene said it seemed more like 2 explosions went off. And then there was just, a string of other things, other celebrities and people connected to the Clintons, via legally or through, by lawyers or people that had done research and come to like the same conclusions, and then mysteriously they're just dying. And some of these are getting ruled as suicides. And but like the one I remember, I don't remember the guy's name, but it got ruled as a suicide, but he was shot twice, once in the front of the face and once in the back of the head, and they were like, yep, that's a suicide. And the bullet calibers were different sizes. That's guy
how suicides work, Ben. You use different guns and you shoot yourself twice.
Yeah, you shoot yourself once in the back of the head and once in the front of the head like this, and just pop.
It takes a lot of skill, and accuracy.
Yeah.
Steady hand.
One guy they ruled as a suicide, and he got shot in the face with a shotgun twice. How do you shoot yourself in the face with a shotgun twice in a suicide? I don't understand. So
first time you're like, I don't think that worked well enough.
That one hurt a little bit. Maybe one more on this side of the face. Bam.
There you go. One more.
So time. Yeah, so I was getting out there. So and I saw Blake Lively had this week was at a meeting or a summit somewhere and was talking about pedophilia and sex trafficking and obviously we need to stop it and stuff. And I was like, oh God, we must protect her. I was like, she's gonna get too deep into it, and we're gonna lose her too, and then we'll lose Ryan Reynolds right after that. So we need to protect her at all costs.
Well, if they're gonna start going it's to the point now where they can't just keep killing everybody.
I know, and it's like been going back through like the early '90s, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
how do you just keep? You guys you're out here just killing people willy nilly. And trying to palm it off as suicides. Like a couple people had like Kate Spade was one of the other ones. You know how she committed suicide a couple years ago, but apparently it was a scarf around her neck tied to a doorknob. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you can't hang yourself from a doorknob. So
I saw what you're talking about. I think Edna sent that to me.
Yeah,
what's up, Edna?
What's up, Ednuts? Cabo, let's keep the comments strictly to the podcast. You can hit me up on Twitter or in Discord later about the other poll I've got going.
Yeah, she sent me this picture too. See, and that's one of the things is like you don't exactly know like what exactly is true or whatever.
Yeah, that's ew.
Supposedly Chuck Schumer.
Ew.
I don't know.
That's weird. I don't like that.
I looked up.
Yeah, Kate Spade's weird.
But thank God Maxwell didn't get bail.
Yeah, because they thought she was a flight risk because I was reading that article just before we started here a little bit ago that she's kept her citizenship of multiple countries and her wealth a secret, and they're like she's a flight risk.
When one of her citizenships is in France, and that's a non-extradition country. So, like, that's the definition of a flight risk. Because if you end up in France, they're like, well, oui, c'est vous personne.
Oh, sacre bleu, we cannot extradite you, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like, nah. Look, if I come in there with more than a butter knife, you guys are all going to give up anyway. So, just let it, come on. Bring her here.
That Catch Me If You Can, dude. That's why he ended up there. And
right.
Tom Hanks. Oh, man. I'm going to say it again. If Tom Hanks is involved with all this, man, it's going to be so heartbreaking.
Yeah, I know. They, I saw a list of names that were possibly involved as well. I mean, this is all alleged now until things, actually get proven. But Johnny Depp was apparently on the list, too. And I was like, not Johnny. I was
really?
Like, come on. Yeah. Apparently Johnny Depp was on the list as well.
I got a buddy who posted that. Oh yeah.
I'm really annoyed that I'm not going to be. I didn't even remember seeing who posted it and why it was on my Facebook timeline, and I don't know. Ed Nuts, if you know what I'm talking about, it was like a bunch of black and white photos, right? So if you somehow... Yes, that's the one! Send it to me. Link me to it again so I can save it.
I will link you to it right now.
That's the one.
I'll put you in the comments.
Thank you, sir. Yes, that's the one that I saw, and I was like reading through it, and I was like, holy crap.
Paul Walker, Kate Spade. How do I share this? Send it Messenger.
Yeah, send it in Messenger or something.
There you go.
They say Kobe. Ed Nuts is saying they say Kobe was involved in sacrificing himself and his daughter because of what was coming to him. She also said Jiz Lane wanted to hide out in a luxury hotel. Lol. I don't know. I don't know about Scalia. Yeah, Scalia as well. I don't know about Kobe. That seems far fetched to me that Kobe would be involved. But at the same time, people said the same thing about Ghislaine Maxwell and how they could never see her doing that, and here we are. So
yeah, I don't know about Kobe. Like you said, that seems far fetched. But there's a big list here.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge, all the way back to like the early '90s too. It's insane.
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, I think Anthony Bourdain was about to expose some things as well. Like, yeah, it's wild.
John F. Kennedy. See, some of this stuff.
Some of those I had to like go.
John F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah.
This was before his announcement. While flying, John crashed his plane, killing himself, his wife, and his sister-in-law. This is before his announcement. See, like that's one that I could see, like, okay, coincidental, yeah, but can you directly tie that?
Right, and a couple of those lead singers, it was dude from Chris Cornell. I remember him dying. I was like, what the heck?
From Soundgarden.
Yeah, from Soundgarden, like, because he was
Thorne, author of 4 books exposing the Clintons.
Yeah, he had a whole volume of books.
Yeah. He was shot and killed on a mountaintop.
Yeah, that's the one I couldn't remember. They like shot him over in Pennsylvania on like a top of a mountain.
Quoted saying, "I would never commit suicide."
Yep.
Yeah.
Gareth Williams, an MI6 spy, which is crazy. Which like they ruled this as a suicide. So listen to this. You got Gareth Williams. He was a spy for MI6, and he hacked into the secret data of Bill Clinton. He was found dead in his apartment in 2010, and it was ruled as a suicide. But this is saying that he was padlocked, naked, and inside of a duffel bag in his bathtub. How do you padlock a duffel bag from the inside? And cut the water on in your bathtub? Like, what?
That sounds about right.
And then his apartment was steam cleaned afterwards. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch of, like, it's a bunch of stuff. Like, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. All these high profile people are getting scared, man. They're thinking she's gonna squeal and it's gonna come crashing down around their ears.
Yeah. Well, what's gonna be crazy? And then did we talk about this last time? There's the theory that Mac and I were talking about this. Because again, Mac, my brother, for those of you who don't know who he is, he was gonna be on the podcast tonight, but he had dad duties.
RP.
We're gonna try to incorporate him in because he's pretty funny dude and very well educated, maybe even more so than I am on some of this stuff. But there's a theory out there that why Biden hasn't announced his running mate is because all of this shit's about to come crashing down, and he doesn't know who in the Democratic Party is going to make it out of that thing. Shit. So if he, announces his running mate, I don't think it would ever be Clinton, but let's just live in a fantasy world where it would be Clinton, and then she or Bill is tied into all of this, that would completely damn his entire campaign.
Yeah.
Because that's just like throwing Trump a fastball.
A fucking bone. Yeah, I fucking.
And he could be tied to it too.
Oh, I bet. No,
they were buddies.
They were buddies, and there was a thing that there's a girl that has put up one lawsuit against Trump that got swept under the rug, and now she's refiled again, saying that him and Epstein both assaulted her at one of Epstein's places.
Well, Ben, I mean, let's just think about it. Trump couldn't be involved because he's not quoted saying, "I just grabbed him by the pussy."
Never once did he ever say, like, just grab him by the pussy.
And he doesn't seem like a very gross human being.
No, not even a little.
Pretty, good dude, overall. I mean, he doesn't give you that creepy vibe at all.
Oh, not even a little bit. Okay, sorry, Combo, over here pitching a fit because I haven't read any comments yet.
Sorry.
Sorry. So that fucking Ace Family dude is in the shit because there's a video of him spanking his daughter lightly and it's saying something like, "Ooh, that's nice," or "Ooh, that's firm." Fucking creepy. Yeah, that's weird.
Alex,
Maybe don't do that to your kids.
Which Chester? Adnuts? Chester
Chester Bennington
from Lincoln Park?
Lincoln Park, yeah.
I think so. And I did see something about him, and then I read through some comments, and right away I was like, I don't know about this one. I mean, again, I love to think about all of it, but the only stuff that really bothers me and creeps down into my gut and just sits there and lives there is the stuff that's like, this is undeniable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless this is just completely falsified information, which most times there's a fair amount of fact checking involved. You know, like those two videos I sent you that Edna sent to me. Yeah, from Lincoln Park.
Yeah, daughter's like 3, gross. Ed Nuts, you said earlier that Anthony Bourdain and Obama were in it together. Apparently, like in it as in trying to expose it, or they were like part of it.
There was an episode where Anthony Bourdain had lunch with Obama.
Yeah, and then I remember in the video they Google searched the wording in the background, and then it went down that deep dark rabbit hole.
Yes, it was like no smoking, but it
was like BH Kids basically, because it was
BH Kids.
Yeah, like because it was like no smoking, but it was basically linked you to a video of a Korean anti-smoking ad campaign, where it was young Korean girls.
Let me tell you something that happened to me earlier this week, and I don't know if I'm just getting down this fucking rabbit hole and starting to freak myself out or whatever. So you know how DuckDuckGo gives you the list of the ad trackers that they blocked?
Right.
One of them was like a weird looking like ad tracking service agency. So I looked at it.
I got you at nuts.
It was BH dot that ad tracking service. And I was like, those letters look very familiar.
Those sly fuckers.
Dude, and so I Googled it. I Googled the ad tracking service. And when you type BH in front of it, it doesn't bring it up. It just brings you to that ad tracking service. And it's like, trying to improve everyone's online experience, you know, blah, blah, blah. Click here if you don't want to be tracked by us anymore. I'm like, click. Stop trying to see what I'm doing. I like my life.
Right.
I want kids to be safe. I don't think anything like on our small little podcast would come about, but like when the Zoom meeting wasn't working earlier, I was like,
yeah, that was weird.
Or you can't be, you're not on. I mean, we don't have that many visitors. I mean, we're small fish. There's a lot bigger fish out there to find than little old ginger.
Yeah. So that says that they say Obama's involved and Michelle is supposedly a man. So the second half of that, I feel like is a stretch. Like now they're discrediting themselves by throwing out wild, outlandish accusations.
Yeah.
Watch it. Maybe it is true, but I don't know. They've been together since forever. So
I don't
she
think
was a man.
And those kids look a lot like the both of them. Like
yeah.
The daughter looks a lot like Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I start to get into like, okay, let's keep it.
Let's keep it
to the point where we can get real facts and we can cross-check and say, okay, well, X plus Y equals Z, and that's the way that this is going.
Yeah, but now they're trying to, with that other thing, it's like X plus Y plus X squared equals Z cubed, and you're like, now it's too much effort.
Now you're losing me. Again, I can only digest and really try to think about facts. Like that's just how my brain works. I don't like to get wrapped up.
I don't want to go down a rabbit hole of
in
like
the emotional side of it, or like that this could be true or that could be true, because
I don't want to start chasing white rabbits through different holes.
Yeah.
To try and piece it all together.
And at the end of the day, I fucking hope it's fake. I hope
honest to God, I hope
big ol' hoax.
I
hope it's all
really do.
And that kids are safe and that kids aren't getting sex trafficked. I pray that this is all just some huge, strange coincidence. But I can't
not, like, even outside of this high profile, like, people involved in sex trafficking, like child sex trafficking. I don't want to say normal, but like other child sex trafficking still happens, which is horrific and horrible. So in that video, they showed people trying to get kids or girls model for their supposed website, in which they lure them in, then traffic them. And one of the accounts that popped up on my video is always messaging me on Instagram to get my daughter to model for them. Oh, fuck!
Nope.
Absolutely not. Delete Instagram right now.
Nope. No chance.
All right, well, that has secured me never, ever posting my children on any type of social media when I have kids.
Dude, so Mac and I went and grabbed some beers. I think it was on his day off. I don't remember what day. It might have been on Monday. And I was telling him about all this, and I sent the videos to him, and he was texting me later like, dude, this is wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is nuts. And I was telling him, if my nephew ever was harmed, if they laid a finger on one hair of his head, I would do the most evil, horrible, nasty, unforgivable things to that person. I would chain that motherfucker up in my basement, and I would bring them to the brink of death, and I would just let them live there. Just no fingernails, no toenails.
Go full Japanese torture.
Maybe one eyeball just so they can see what's going on, you know? But I'm serious, dude. I would do
dark,
the worst.
but yeah. That's
I
can't.
The only thing. I'm the most nice, sensible, or not, I shouldn't say sensible. I feel like I'm a pretty nice guy, and you got to do a lot to really rile me up and bring me to that point.
But if you start fucking with kids,
one thing. Kids that are related to me, or especially mine, or that I would consider mine, like, you're gonna see a different Ginger come out. That's gonna be like, at that point in time, all bets are off, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck those people.
Fuck them for real. I can't believe that anybody in their right mind would go through something like that and be like, oh yeah, this is normal. And like, that's the other thing I saw, and this has been going on for a while. Like, it's come around before, but there's liberal, like they labeled it as liberal TED Talks, or people at TED Talks that are wildly liberal, are wanting to say that pedophilia is a sexual orientation now, and that we should accept them for it and go on. And I was like, are you fucking high? You don't get to say that it's a sexual orientation and it's what they chose to, like, no. Like, there comes a point where, like, no. Like, I'm fine. Be whatever sexual orientation or whatever LGBTQIA plus you want to be. But when we get to the point where it's like, and now we're including pedophiles, no. Absolutely not. No.
Well, and the sentences that pedophiles get are ridiculous.
They get off so easy.
There was a guy in Omaha not too long ago that murdered a pedophile.
I remember that. I read that whole thing. That? Like, he went up and was like, why do you have a playground and no fence in your backyard? He's like, oh, just so the kids can come play. It's because, like, he was looking for apartments. He looked on the sex offender registry, found out that the guy was around the corner, basically, living over there. He drove over there to give it a check, and homeboy was out pretending to wash his truck and was just eyeballing these kids playing in the cul-de-sac. And so he was like, what the fuck? So he stopped, questioned him. Homeboy had a playground or jungle gym set in his backyard, no fence. He was just like, yeah, the kids can just come over and play. And after talking to him for a minute, the dude realized that this guy has absolutely no remorse for the things that he's done. He did some more research and found out that there's multiple cases against him in different states.
There was a whole Facebook account set up by a
mom of a boy who committed suicide because that dude assaulted him. And so this guy was like, given all of these things, and that the fact that the cops had basically done nothing about it, sorry. And he went and dealt with it himself, and then turned himself in afterwards. And he was like, and they were like, oh, what? You don't have any proof? And he's like, if you want proof, this is where the body is. He's like, I put it in a place where nobody's gonna find it, but here's the location. And then lo and behold, there it was.
That is a hero.
I don't fault him for doing it at all, honestly.
That is a hero in my eyes. You can say what you want about murder or whatever, but
sometimes I think it can be justified.
I think about when that guy gets to the pearly gates, and I'm sure there will be a conversation, or I don't know how that part's going to work, but the guy that he murdered, I'm sure won't be around for that conversation because he's going to get sent straight the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So, like, that is some sick. It makes me sick, dude.
Yeah, it
makes me sick.
Gross.
Thinking about the fact that, like, I have a niece and a nephew. Hopefully, be blessed enough to be a dad someday.
Yeah, I've got two nieces, two little girls. They're young. They're 4 and 3, I think, or coming up on that age like that, and I can't imagine.
Nope.
I cannot imagine it. Not even
nope.
A little bit. Ew.
Anyway. Anything else you want to talk about on Maxwell? Anything else?
No, I'm just glad that she didn't get bail, and she's stuck sitting whatever jail cell she's sitting in until this all goes to trial, or she takes a plea bargain. But she's not. I don't think she's gonna take a plea bargain because she pleaded not guilty to whatever they were trying to charge her with. I think it was. Fuck, I don't have to remember what the article said.
That would be the smart move for her defense right now. Would be to plead not guilty, so they have more bargaining power, so that it doesn't get to trial.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how that pans out and who she rats out. If it gets to that point, because
well, they have her dead to rights.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, I hope she doesn't die of a mysterious happening.
Well, when you have
before she gets to squeal.
I'm just so thankful that it's gaining national recognition and national attention.
Yeah, because the Epstein one, he got arrested and was just like all very hush hush, and nothing really happened until after they were like, oh, he committed suicide.
There was a guy, I forget his name, but he's sitting in front of a national council. So there's representatives from all over the world, translators, the whole nine. And he's saying that these kids are coming in by the truckload. Like, they're being shipped here by the truckload.
Jesus Christ.
And he's like, we have a national emergency on our hands. Like, this is insane. How is this happening? And again, for a long time, it was just like, oh, conspiracy theory. Like, one of my friends poked some fun at me on Instagram about, like, me telling my friends at 2 a.m. that birds aren't real, and,
right?
Whatever.
No, they're
yeah, funny. Like, I'm not offended at all. You can poke fun at me all day long, and I don't think birds are.
I don't think birds are
agents for the government.
Government surveillance drones.
Machines. I don't believe that. But what I do know for fact is that child trap. Go to your local Walmart and look at all of the kids missing.
Oh my God, so many
missing children.
And any type of Amber Alert that pops off, like.
Yeah. And what happened with Wayfair?
I know that was like a hot thing for like 3 or 4 days, and now nothing. Away. It just went away.
Just went away.
So I don't know, but I bet you Wayfair as a company ordered a cease and desist, and just start sweeping shit under the rug.
No investigations.
Any of you investigative journalists that end up watching this later on YouTube or something, get on it. Go dig deep, and then get back to us. We want to hear about it. I want to know.
I will help you. Let me know.
If I have time, let me get in there.
If anybody knows how I can help anything about this, I would be more than happy to donate my time and services. It keeps me up at night thinking the fact that there could be children that what Epstein did to them is still happening, and they're never going to be the same, dude.
No.
They're one of the girls that's testifying against Maxwell is saying that she never had kids because she didn't want to bring them into a world where Ghislaine could hurt them because she had made threats against her and her family.
And those are the ones that are like, this is so shitty to say, but like those are the ones that are lucky enough to make it out alive.
I know, dude.
Like, which is so fucked. It's so fucked.
Right.
Like those are the ones that are lucky enough to get out and make it out of that situation or life are it's PTSD. They have PTSD for the rest of their life. Mental issues, mental scarring, PTSD, like all of the things.
That dude that outed Tom Hanks, right? That quote unquote committed suicide and then shared that video. Mm-hmm. Where did those 6 little girls come from? Like, where did they come from?
Where did they go?
What are they doing? You're telling me they're doing that voluntarily?
Absolutely not.
And where are they now?
Yeah.
You know, what? It just. Ugh.
Yeah. Ugh. All right, that's enough of that.
Anyway, yeah.
So, fucking New York is now legit Gotham City.
Yeah.
Essentially.
That's the next topic today.
They are essentially New York City. They got rid of their what is it? What was it?
Anti-crime.
Yeah, it was the anti-crime division, and then fucking gun violence and other types of crime has just skyrocketed in was it one of the boroughs? Was it Brooklyn? No, it wasn't Brooklyn. No, it was Brooklyn. I think it was Brooklyn. One of the boroughs in New York.
I'll find out for us.
Precisely why I never wanted kids. Now I'm just gonna do what I can to protect her. Hey, get out! Yeah, for real. Do what you gotta do. I will always be an advocate for telling people that do what you gotta do to protect yourself and your family. Doesn't matter if that's you going and purchasing a firearm legally and educating yourself around weapon safety in that firearm and then practicing with that firearm so you know how to use it in any situation. And get all
the city in May went up by 79%. Shootings went up by 64%.
Jesus.
And burglaries rose 34%.
There was one I was because I looked into it. That article that you sent me, I read a little bit of it. They in the same time period last year that they counted it, there was only like 6 or 7 gun-related like gun violence crimes, and then this year there's been like 60 some odd. I think was what it was, or 20 something. But yeah, it might have been like they're up by 60 something percent. Like it's crazy. That's crazy. Portland's crazy now too, but they got protesters out there burning down the police headquarters and clashing with federal. They said federal agents, but to me it just looked like the National Guard out there with batons beating the hell out of people.
Well, and that's the problem is it's being escalated on both sides.
Both sides. There's no
de-escalating the situation.
There's no de-escalation tactics being used. It's just straight up go out there and beat the fuck out of each other.
When a lot of the, again, just like what happened, what's been continuing to happen, a lot of the peaceful, the peaceful leaders of peaceful movements are saying, stop it.
Right.
Quit it.
Yeah, at this point, you're not.
You're taking away from.
Yeah. All the violent protests are taking away from the point of the entire movement. It's just like now I don't hear anything more about peaceful protesting and people marching for equal rights and the Black Lives Matter movement. Not just as the Black Lives Matter as an umbrella, not specifically for the movement, because I guess the actual leaders of that have come out and said that they're Marxists, but just under the umbrella of Black Lives Matter, like all of their work that they're doing is getting swept aside because the violent protesters are out there ruining it for everyone.
Yep. I would like to not give a shout out or whatever, but recognize the fact that John Lewis, the civil rights activist, died.
Yeah, he was 80-something years old. Yeah, he was a big part of the civil rights movement in its grassroots stages.
Yep.
So.
Along with Martin Luther King, he was one of the organizers of the March on Washington.
Yep. Yeah, they lost a champion. Well, not they. I should say we. We lost a champion of civil rights earlier this week when he passed. So.
Yep.
This is kind of a cliche white girl thing to say, but thoughts and prayers for his family.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but yeah, it's just I was actually listening to a little bit of the news snippets today while I was on my way to Taco Bell, and don't judge me.
Thoughts and prayers, and after I got home from Taco Bell.
Right. No. I appreciate you, Lacey. No worries. Do what you got to do. but yeah, there was a fucking I wasn't paying too much attention because it was just kind of on the background while I was driving. But there's a town somewhere in America, and I'm gonna have to look this up and get back to it next week. But they have gotten they're starting a division in the city that's not associated with the police, and these people basically are just normal citizens, but they're now in charge of doing traffic stops and shit like that.
Interesting.
And I was like, when I heard that, I was like, it's a dangerous game to play in empowering certain individuals within a community to enforce traffic laws and traffic stops and things of things of that nature.
Domestic abuse.
I don't know if it's like that type, but I was like, what the fuck, bro? I was like, we're now trying to empower normal citizens to basically perform citizens arrests and stops really all the time. I was like, to me that's a dangerous slope of starting there and then just landsliding into a militia.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. You really want the racists to start coming out of the woodwork, like
yeah. Well, they
do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
They did it, but they did it in order to try and halt racial bias in the police department. But I was like, who are you? The snippet didn't get into it, but like I was like, who are you giving this power to? Is it are you screening people, like, or is it just like this person? You guys are on fucking basically neighborhood traffic watch this week. Go ahead, and now you're gonna have the same issue again, but now it's not the police. It's your regular citizens getting the power of the police.
How are you going to vet those people?
I don't know. That's why it's so weird. I need to look into it more. I'm going to butcher your name, guy, my friend, but Ignashov 10. Guys, I'm from Argentina. I'd like to hear you. I'm improving my English. Can I understand you when I speak? They speak very clearly. Oh, you speak very clearly. I appreciate it. Well, welcome to the podcast, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for
tuning in from Argentina, which is awesome. Appreciate it.
That's super dope.
Yeah, so that's wild that they've now got citizens basically doing some semblance of police work in this town. I was like, that's yikes.
Sounds like a dangerous game.
It's a very dangerous game to play.
I mean, police are already vetted, probably not vetted enough, but
it depends. Some departments that have the money to do it can vet them and provide the training and things that they need, on a yearly basis. Yeah. And some police departments that don't have that are like, you have a head and you can breathe. Here's a badge.
I should probably put it this way: continued vetting.
Yeah.
Like, reanalysis year to year.
Yeah.
I was listening to. Were we talking about that on here? I don't remember.
I don't know.
There's an opinion out there that says that street cops shouldn't be able to be street cops for more than like 5 to 7 years. Because
we might have mentioned it a little bit.
In that period of time, most street officers are so burnt out.
Yeah.
They have, these stigmas towards certain neighborhoods, towards certain communities.
Yep.
That are just, let's be real. There's a lot of bad people within those communities. There's a lot of robbery. There's a lot of shootings. There's, it has nothing to do with racial tensions. You can go to those coal mining towns in
the hills of Pennsylvania,
like Alabama or Pennsylvania or whatever, and they're all white, but the crime rate is the same because they're impoverished communities. I'm not saying there's bad people in
every demographic
every community, and then there are some communities that are worse. They're it's because of inequality, whatever. But that doesn't stop them from gaining that natural human bias. Like, if you're in Omaha and you're on 13th and Lake Street, that traffic stop is going to look a lot different than if you're on 156th and Maple.
Yeah.
They're different communities. There's different level of crime that exists within those communities. So you're going to have a natural bias towards your human situation in those instances.
Right.
So after that, I think they should be reevaluated, revetted, mental evaluations, continued training,
Mm-hmm.
year to year. But once they get into that 5 to 7 year period of time, hopefully they've gained
Enough.
An understanding of those communities. So let's put them as a special task force,
Yeah.
in those communities, so that if they do have a rookie and it is a traffic stop on 13th and Lake Street, that person that's along with them is well established in that community, maybe knows that driver, maybe knows that driver's family, maybe,
Yeah.
they have a better
They
understanding
understand
of what the situation
the
is.
people of that community and what their situations are,
It's
and how
easier for them to recognize a truly dangerous situation than a perceived
Right.
dangerous situation.
Right. Yeah, and I think I don't know I don't think that defunding the police department is the right answer. Any like all of the police departments, I think like a restructuring is more likely what needs to happen. Like take away the things that cops do that are like social worker type deals. Like they don't need to be doing social work. They're there to enforce laws and keep order and that kind of thing. So have them do that. And if they get to a point while they're doing that part of their job where they can be a human and reach out and do something in the community that becomes borderline social work, then like fine, but don't have them doing the job of a social working department. Like we need to allocate funds, police for this, keep the training up, make sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and then take some of the funds that we've been throwing to the cops for their social work type situations and put those funds into actual social programs and the social workers offices, and give them the ability to be able to go out there and do the same thing. Also, I wouldn't think it'd be a bad idea if social workers came with cops to certain situations, like domestic violence situations, domestic abuse situations, situations where cops are there trying to enforce law and order, but then also at the same time have to put on the other hat and be a social worker. If you, I don't know how feasible that is to have a social worker ride along with cops on certain calls, but maybe it could work.
Well, my dad was a police officer for a long time, and he tells a story of showing up to a domestic abuse situation where unfortunately this guy it wasn't the first time that they had shown up to a domestic abuse situation in this particular household. They were both alcoholics. They both beat the shit out of each other. So they show up, she calls on the husband. They show up, the guy is wasted, super disgruntled, puts up a fight. So my dad and his partner are trying to get this guy down on the ground to get him in cuffs, and he's fighting and hits his partner like square in the jaw, and like guy like is super disoriented. So my dad gets him on the ground, and his partner goes to cuff him, and this fucking lady brings out like a skillet, like a cast iron skillet.
We should go full PUBG on him? And
hits my dad's partner in the back of the head. Ooh. And just out
crumples him.
So now my dad's like, oh my God, and like had to use the baton to like get this dude in cuffs, and then this lady's like swinging the skillet at him. So I has to like tackle the lady so he can get her into cuffs.
Oh,
like,
God.
These situations that, and again, I'm not saying like police officers should just beat the shit out of people. That's not what I'm saying at all. But these situations that nobody ever sees that police officers have to deal with.
Right.
Like, you can't just say like defund them, or let's just start sending social workers into that situation, because they're gonna get hurt.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, like in that type of situation. Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what you're suggesting. I'm just saying like the narrative behind just completely defunding a police department, like. If anything, like you said, it needs to be restructured so they do get more.
Right, and the thing that people are doing now are just calling for defunding, and they're not offering any solutions. It's just defund them, and it's like, well, what's your plan after that? And they're like, fuck it, defund them, and we'll go from there. It's like, what? So what? It's like the same thing with Chaz/Chop. They went in there and sectioned off that that portion of what was it, Seattle, and had no plan for any type of government.
Oh,
And
by the way, like we've talked about before, what exactly happened in there?
people
Somebody
died.
gets shot. There's a rape accusation. Like
Like 7 people died.
beat the piss out of that dude.
They beat the hell out of it. Yeah, and it's like they just did the same things that they wanted the cops to stop doing. They were like
Exactly.
a bunch of hypocrites. Basically, they like one guy was in there like, "Why do you guys have all these guns?" And one lady that was like part of the fucking leadership or whatever, or the law and order part of Chaz was just like, don't worry why we have guns.
You know what?
It's like, what? At least the cops will tell you why they have guns. You were just like, don't fucking worry about it.
When gun control was the huge, issue, right? That was a huge narrative from the left.
Yeah.
Not even last big shooting. Right now, overall gun purchase background checks have increased 69% since last year, and checks for handgun purchases are up over 80% from 2019.
Well, there you go.
You think people feel safe right now?
No, fuck no, they don't feel safe.
I thought almost as if the Marxist narrative is around creating fear and panic and chaos, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
I wonder where that happened at before. Like what?
That's exactly what's being accomplished.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking dumb.
It's crazy.
Fucking insane, dude. It's insane.
We love you.
Love you, Spaceman. Proud of you. Do your work. Get done. Sorry you had a busy weekend.
Not sure what interesting topic means, but I'm hoping that means that he
I
thought
think
it
it's
was
just
an interesting topic.
everything we were talking about right there. But yeah, it's so you've got basically Batman or fucking New York City needs a Batman, and Portland needs a Batman, and
Kanye is running for president.
Kanye's running for president. Welcome to 2020, you guys, bro. Kanye is running
to 2020
for president. It's wild. So I guess what I've seen so far, what I read earlier this week is, and as of I guess 5 hours ago too, when I watched a little video, if he gets in. Well, let me preface this. He has missed the deadline in like 7 states. He's missed out on like 100 electoral college votes because he didn't put any paperwork in their states for the deadlines. So he's getting no votes in those states. Big ones were like Texas and California and Alabama and some other places with large populations that have a large.
Not really needed to win an election.
Yeah, but like there was a couple of big ass states. Yeah, there's a couple of big ass states in there that have a lot of electoral college votes on the line. And he puts no paperwork in for them. Still hasn't registered with the Federal Election Commission. And is doing a rally, or did a rally today in South Carolina, where they don't allow, I think South Carolina, they don't allow write-in nominees. So he's doing a rally in a state that he hasn't registered for to run for president, hasn't registered on the federal side to run for president, and that state doesn't allow write-in nominees. What? But his other thing was, and I don't think he didn't speak too much of it, I guess, in this rally, but one of the first things he mentioned when he was running was that he wanted to structure the U.S. government after Wakanda. How Wakanda was set up. And it's been a minute since I've seen that video, that movie. But if you guys, have watched that movie recently or remember how their government was set up, that's what he's envisioning for his administration. And the other thing I saw was he has come out and said that COVID-19 is God's judgment on humanity for straying away from him, and he's judging us for our sins. And he also said that if a cure, or when a cure/vaccine comes out for it, it will be, he equated it to the same thing as getting the mark of the beast. So for all of you that you remember your Bible school and your Sunday school and your Sunday worships at church, you remember when you covered the end times, the mark of the beast is the thing that like you get either on your wrist or in your forehead that designates you as someone that's following the Antichrist during the end times. So that's what
I did hear. If you brand 666 on your forehead, that will make you immune from COVID. I did hear that.
There you go, guys. You heard it here first.
I completely made that up. That's
yeah. So that's what he thinks. He thinks if we get a vaccine for Corona, that it's the same as getting the mark of the beast from the Book of Revelation and in the end times. And I was like, this dude is off his meds.
Well, and then I listened to a lot of his rally tonight, and he didn't say a single thing that I disagreed with, honestly.
I didn't get through. I was just clicking through to see what his talking points were.
He had a girl up there talking about...
Yeah, she was young, though. I did see that. She talked about education and police brutality, and she was like low teens.
Well, there was another girl up
there. The white girl?
Yeah, the white girl.
I didn't hear what she said.
She was up there talking, and she was disagreeing with him. And at one point in time, like one of his security guys came up and was like gonna take her off, and he's like, no. She has a right to speak. She has a right to speak. Like, we have a conversation. Like, she has a right to speak. And I was like, I like that.
I get like that's good. Like that part of his thing is good, where he's said now that everybody has a right to speak, and if we can have civil conversation about things, then cool.
And I didn't get through all of it either, but from what I heard, it was basically a lot around like love and unity. And like this whole thing ties back to God, like God loves everyone, like God doesn't love this person or that person. He did some talk about abortion and like in New York, he claimed, I don't know if this is true or not, this is just what he said, that you can have an abortion between 6 to 8 months.
I do remember something like that passing somewhere not too long ago.
And how, mothers, that if they break up with their, potential
baby daddy,
baby's father or, husband, whatever that looks like, that they can use that as like a weapon, like if you leave me, I'm going to have an abortion type deal. And that's obviously not good or right. And then he said, but I also understand if it's a rape victim, that they should have that opportunity to, decide what they want to do with that child, because that's not fair to a rape victim. I think you'd have to be pretty fucking numb to say, oh, that's God's will.
Yeah.
You got raped, you gotta have the baby.
Yeah, that's
God's
pretty short-sighted.
I don't really think that's how that works. I mean,
yeah, that's a little, that's iffy.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I don't know. I need to maybe listen to more of his stuff and dig more into his platform, but I don't know. For me, it's just Kanye doing Kanye things to promote Kanye. Like he's got a new album coming out soon too, so he's been mentioning that along his campaign trail.
He was wearing a bulletproof vest.
I saw that.
Kind of funny.
The funny part about that is as when I looked at it, it didn't look like he had any sappy plates in it. So those things are only rated so far when for not huge weaponry or not like larger caliber bullets will get through that with like ease, because if it doesn't have a sappy plate in it.
You know a lot about more about that. I don't know what a sappy plate is.
It's basically an insert. It's those big, heavy fucking Kevlar plates that you put inside those bitches.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so those things depends on them. Some of them are rated if they don't have any of those plates in them to stop like a 22. And maybe a little bit heavier, but yeah.
I still stand by the statement. Not that I'm going to vote for Kanye, but I would vote for Kanye before I would vote for Trump or Biden.
I'm saying, dude, Joe Johnson, 2020, get after it.
Joe Johnson, or JoJo Jurgensen.
Whatever her name is.
That's her name.
JoJo Jurgensen.
I haven't heard anything. Like
I don't know. She was popping on like Facebook and shit like for a long time, and now I haven't seen shit. So I don't even know how she's doing in the polls. I need to look. Let me look actually. Let me look up and see.
I was reading an article though that like Wisconsin is a state with like very lenient. Easy ways to get on the ballot, I'll put it that way, and that Nader and Perot have swung the vote in Wisconsin in the past because of the fact that people didn't vote right or left. So that's where it could be interesting with Kanye on the ballot, to where people do actually vote for him. They will take away votes from those other two shitheads.
Yeah.
and could swing the vote one way or another.
The four
My thing is don't tell me I'm wasting a vote because I'm going to vote for somebody outside of the two-party system because I'm fed up and I'm sick of it and I'm not going to do it again.
Right.
Until they bring somebody forward that I can believe and have faith in, I'm not doing it.
Right. The four big names I guess you guys need to pay attention to are Joe Biden, obviously, Donald Trump as the incumbent, Jo Jorgensen, who I've been lobbying for in this podcast because she's the libertarian candidate, and that's where I fucking line up with more so than anything else. And then Howie Hawkins as the Green Party nominee, more than likely. Haven't heard shit out of Howie Hawkins though, so it's the first I've seen. The first I'm hearing is that. I'm trying to find the poll, like who's here we go, polls maybe, and see how we all stacking up. Who's running? Yes, I know. Okay, well, okay, CNN, why don't you give me the other two and not just fucking the two main, you dicks? Politico.com maybe? I did hear today, though, that the gap between Biden and Trump is very narrow in the polls, in the polling. Biden's sitting at a 48%, and Trump is sitting at like a 42%. The gap is close. The gap is closed. It was a 12-point difference, and now it's down to like an 8-point difference.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So Biden's still been leading, but the gap's closed. Trump is closing in on Biden's lead on the polls. Why the fuck can't I find a poll about anybody anywhere on the online?
Are you using DuckDuckGo?
No.
That weird.
Weird. Maybe.
Yeah, I've heard that there's a lot of silent Trump supporters out there right now, though, that are almost. It's just like in 2016, like Clinton was leading everything,
and then all of a sudden,
all of the polls, and then
all of a sudden,
even Vegas got the election wrong. You know that's some shit when Vegas is all, like,
yeah, I can't find
Trump
anything.
was like a plus 250
going
into election night, and I bet on Clinton. I bet on Clinton because I was like, this is easy money. She's gonna win, like, hands down. And then my family was out to dinner that night. I'll never forget that night when they announced, we were just about to leave, and they announced that Trump had won Florida. And my brother and I were like,
oh, fuck.
Shit, dude, he's going to do it. He's going to fucking do it.
Yeah, it was wild. I think I remember watching that one because I think in that election I had to go back to Arkansas to vote because I had not registered in Missouri yet. So I went back to vote, and then I remember watching the elections. Actually, no, because I voted. It was like Arkansas's primary elections, like in the summer. So I went back and voted. And I think I was watching it at home back in Missouri, and I was watching the polls. I don't think it was on TV. It was online, and it was like Hillary. It was like winning the whole night, and I was like, oh God, no, please. And then like all of a sudden, like right at the end, towards the end of the night, Trump like pulled ahead out of nowhere, and I was like, holy shit. It was insane. That was like watching this last year's Super Bowl, honestly.
Right.
It was like the exact same thing. Like San Francisco was winning the entire time, and then like here we go. And I don't mean to say that I am comparing Kansas City to Trump. It's just like that was the analogy. All right, don't fucking get it twisted. But yeah, that's the analogy. It was insane. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they're saying.
Just covering the main two parties.
Got like a 4 to 7% of the total popular vote right now.
RIP. Well, the media's doing their job.
Yeah.
Keeping the third party down and just focusing on the main two. But we're here, damn it, to make sure the third party gets their recognition.
Well, here's the thing:
or a fourth party.
They can't stop us if
True.
we vote for them.
And they'll try and dissuade you saying it's a wasted vote, but it's not, because you voted how you wanted to vote, and you feel good about it for yourself.
I got this tweet I retweeted earlier this week about, it was like hard to swallow pills.
Oh, I saw that. It was like
hold
the
on,
cat?
let me get the exact verbiage behind it, because I was like, Do you understand how hypocritical and just how backwards this train of thought is? So hard to swallow pills. Everybody's seen the memes.
I'll throw it up on here. Hold on, let me pull it up
Yeah.
on your Twitter. I need somebody like a Jamie,
Right?
like Joe Rogan has to be
Jamie.
like, hey, come over here and run this part.
That can be Mac.
Right.
That can be Mac. He's got a super badass computer actually that he could be.
Oh, he's got a gaming rig, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does.
I just got one. It's super great. I love it. All right, let's see. Scrolling. Where's the retweet of? Aha! I found it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let me bring it over here. Here we go. Here you go, guys. Can I click on it more? All right, no, I cannot. Oh shit! It went away. All right, so here we go. We got it says hard to swallow pills. I have to vote for Joe Biden, even though he's disgusting, because any other vote is a vote for Trump, and policy impacts people. So sitting on a moral high horse is only going to harm the communities I say I care about.
Okay, here's the train of thought behind that. Myself, as someone who identifies as a Republican, mainly just because, again, of policy, I can make that same exact argument against the left.
It goes both ways.
Those same exact words, and swap out the two names. And that's the train of thought that has got us to where we are right now.
Exactly. You want a
How
real?
do people not see this, dude?
You want a real hard to swallow pill? It's hard to swallow pill. Boom. Voting third party in this election might actually just get us back to where we need to go. Swallow that one with a glass of fucking tequila and juice.
Yeah. Or realize that we don't have to vote for those two scumbags.
True.
We don't have to.
No.
Nobody is saying that you have to.
I just read it. There's two other candidates that are not affiliated with the Democrats or the Republicans. Fucking vote for them. If their policy, if their platform lines up with what you believe and think of as a person, don't vote for the main two parties. We don't have to be stuck in a two-party system. And I'm pretty sure the founding fathers didn't design the election system to be rooted in two parties.
No.
So why, it got bastardized at some point after Lincoln, I think, or right around that time.
Created the Republican Party?
Who?
Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
Do you know why he created it? To abolish slavery. So obviously, somewhere along the lines, say what you want about either party and about abolishing, racism, whatever you want to say about the two-party system. We can all, I believe, sit back and realize that it's pretty fucked right now. It's pretty horrible. 2016, we had a lesser of two evils election.
Yep.
And the whole time leading into 2020, I kept saying they can't send Biden up there. There's no way they'll send Biden up there.
And
They're
then,
not going to give us another lesser of two evils election.
And then they did, because somehow Bernie dropped out, and I don't even remember why, but he didn't win a couple of states, I think, and he was like, "This is the end."
Dude, I just don't.
I hear you, Lacey. That's because mainstream media is doing their job and making sure that the third parties don't see the light of day, and that where as a American citizen that you need to go and do your own research. Do research on your own.
Let's
look in to see who the other options are.
Let's do this hard to swallow pill. Let's say you can't vote, or not you can't. You still have a civil right. If you really do identify with one of those two parties, or one of those two individuals,
then that's on you.
Godspeed, good luck. I don't hate you, whatever. I don't agree with you, but I don't hate you.
We can still be friends.
We can still be friends. I would like to have some conversations with you.
We'll talk civilly.
To maybe identify some points that I might be able to educate you a little bit further. But again, if what you believe and that's what you stand for, great.
And that's on you. Yep.
Godspeed. I think
we're doomed.
This is gonna happen if that happens, but whatever. Let's just make it the two-party system, quote unquote, outside of those two is the Green Party and the Libertarian Party. I'm cool with that.
That's fine.
Choose one of those two.
Four-party system. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Run it.
Let's choose one of those two. Just don't vote Democrat or Republican. and then go find out about the Green Party. I didn't like Jill Stein or whatever her name
Yeah.
was that was Green Party, but I liked her a whole lot more than the other two.
I should have voted for, what was dude's name? Gary Johnson?
Yeah, Aleppo really fucked him, man.
Yeah.
When they asked him what Aleppo was, and he was like, "What's that?" Like,
Gary, you can't just legalize weed and run on that one.
not a good look, bro. Not a good look.
Yes, you smoked too much of the weed you were trying to legalize, my guy. You needed to do some more research.
Yeah. And then he said he could beat up Trump in a fight. I'm like, Gary, dude.
I was like,
stop. You gotta stop, dude.
True, that might be, true as it may be. You can't say that. You can't say that, my guy.
Not a good look.
It's not it.
A good look. You're getting a little Trumpy. You're getting the little Trumpy vibe here. But yeah, man, I wish things were different. I wish a lot of things were different, which is why I sit here and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to hope to inspire or spark, or even if it's just one or two people out there that I can try to make the world a better place. That's all I want to do.
Right.
I just want us to love each other.
Just love each other, man.
Yeah.
Go full hippie.
It's
just
like a very hippie,
peace and love, brother.
But how much better place would the world be if we could all just sit back and say, you know what? Let's just take care of each other. Let's just make sure that
Yeah, but humans are greedy and selfish, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I know.
It's the unfortunate truth. Independent on my voter registration card, I always feel that even if I vote independence, the person that riches want to win will. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing. Campaigning, lobbyists and campaigning takes a fuck ton of money. Like, if you don't have a shitload of money, like either donated, raised, or saved up yourself to run for office, you are fucked. Because you cannot get enough ads out there to get your name out there, which I think is part of the reason we haven't, besides mainstream media not covering them, I think part of the reason that we haven't heard much out of the third and fourth party candidates is they haven't advertised.
No, they don't have the funds.
They don't have the funds to advertise. The most I saw on Joe Jorgensen was a couple week-long Facebook campaign, basically from a bunch of people that were just like, vote for her, and then now nothing, because social media is a.
If Jojo Jorgensen did what I think it was Mike Bloomberg, I think that's the right name, that basically the Trump, if you will, of the Democratic Party, earlier Democratic nominee, he paid all those meme pages to basically create memes about him, and then his name started circulating all over the internet. If she could do something like that,
she would have a good one, because her name's Joe Jorgensen. All she needs to do is capitalize on the anime weeb market, and just do a bunch of it's fine. And do just a bunch of memes. Some of you in chat will know. Do a bunch of memes about freaking based off JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is an anime and that's a huge meme template. People can use that meme template all the time. If she had just done that, good God. She would have had her voice and her name out there all over the place, just based off the fact that she could have marketed it after just gone JoJo 2020 and just ran with the JoJo memes. And
maybe she's saving it up.
Maybe she is. Maybe she's
trying to make a strong push. Come, we're running out of time.
We got 6 months, less than 6 months.
It's 108 days or something.
What are we in? Middle of July, so August, September, October, November. We've got 4.5 months.
Yeah. Maybe she's saving it up for October.
Maybe just really do a big push in October.
Because we're past the point of anybody else getting on the ballot. Because if they're not on the ballot, like you said with Kanye,
they're not getting on it. And I feel like there's quite a few states that have no write-ins. I think if I remember voting, Missouri might still have write-ins. I'm not totally for sure. It's been 4 years since I voted on that one. And when I voted for Arkansas, I'm pretty sure they didn't have a write-in.
Nebraska has write-ins, I know.
I'd have to, don't quote me on that, you guys, but I'm pretty sure they don't have write-ins, those two. But I think that's a lot of states. They don't have write-ins because they don't want a bunch of people, like, which still happens, but they don't want a bunch of people from a bunch of different states writing in fucking Mickey Mouse, which still happens. It still happens every year.
Oh yeah,
every election year.
Again this
year. Yeah, but like they don't want.
Harambe will get like
1,000 votes.
Yeah, 1,200 votes or whatever.
But yeah, they don't want that kind of shit in every state.
Don't use a protest vote like that. Don't write it.
Yeah, don't write in something dumb. I always think that if you don't vote in the election, you don't really have a place, and this might be the wrong way to look at it, but you don't really have a place to bitch about the position the country's in because you didn't really do anything to change it.
Yeah, that's the only way, other than something like this, or like trying to start a campaign, that you can really have a say in what's going to happen at the top that'll trickle down to the rest of us. And you got to get out there and
you got to affect change somehow.
Make a difference, man. Something's got to change, because I can't even imagine if Trump wins again, the riots and the
the riots are bad now, and watch them revamp again if that happens. And I don't really want a creepy. I mean, we already have a creepy president. I don't really. That is my belief. That's not the belief of those people. Don't come after me. But I couldn't imagine having another type of creepy president. Again, like that old senile fuck Joe Biden, just out there creepily touching everyone. Ugh.
Well, and especially, I don't know who his running mate's gonna be.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for it to come out that he's fucking part of it too. So far, I guess.
That would be some shit.
So far, he's done, I guess, a good job of keeping his name out of it. But watch the truth bomb drop on that, and she just names both of them.
Yikes! That would be.
Watch Ghislaine Maxwell fucking name both of those dudes, and both of the parties, and those guys just fucking implode. Actually, kind of now I wanted to. I wanted to now. Write them both out. Write them both out, and everybody can go vote for fucking Joe Jorgensen or fucking Howie Hankins, whoever the fuck that guy is, or whatever, or maybe fucking Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney comes back from the dead and runs the country. No, that's also a bad idea because that dude was an anti-Semite, so we don't actually want Walt Disney back. But I'm just saying, you guys get the point.
That would be the best news ever, is if both Trump and Biden were both outed.
That'd be insane, dude. I would sit there glued to my computer monitors watching things implode on Twitter and whatever else because I don't actually have TV. So
it's 2020, man. Who knows what could happen?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I have a friend who doesn't vote because she says she's not educated in politics, or she feels better not to vote rather than throw a blind vote. Thoughts? My thoughts on that is it's really easy in this day and age to go educate yourself. Literally just get online and do 20 minutes worth of research, which will get you started, and then you'll fall into a rabbit hole of politics and political education, and you can go from there.
And if you would rather do that, that's fine. But then again, you don't have a place.
You can't bitch about anything
about the state of politics in the country.
Like, you didn't vote, so like you didn't put your voice out there. So to me, you're like, fuck it, it'll figure itself out. And like, no. Like,
I feel like that's
what a lot of people, like some people did this past one. They didn't vote for Trump and they didn't vote at all, and they were like, "Oh, but fuck Trump," all this stuff. And it's like, did you vote, bro?
No. That's not how it works. Yep, you
gotta say something.
If you want to be uneducated, then that is your stance, and that's any argument that you come up with, against whoever is running the country. Then the only response to that person should be, say, you weren't educated enough to vote, so you're not educated to participate in this conversation. Basically,
like it's my thing is like that's a cop out. Your friend is using her uneducated stance in politics as a cop out to not go and vote and try and change anything. It's super easy in this day and age to get online and Google. You don't even have to get deep into it. You can just Google so and so's platform and fucking read the points on that guy. No, fuck you, Google. I didn't actually talk to you. Piss off.
Turn that shit off.
And then, I actually need to unplug the Google Home I have. And then, look at the other candidates running and fucking Google their platform. Or DuckDuckGo their platform. And DuckDuckGo this person's platform. And DuckDuckGo that person's platform. And read the fucking points. That's all you have to do to educate yourself in politics. And then you look at which of those people you fucking looked up and go, I agree with this person's stance. Go vote! It's not fucking difficult. You don't have to spend 4 years watching C-SPAN or the news to figure out what the fuck's going on, and then go from there. You have the entirety of the world's knowledge in your hand. When you go take a shit, look something up.
Yeah. Or just, instead of turning on your favorite reality TV show, just
stop watching fucking Keeping Up with the Goddamn Kardashians, pull your head out of your ass, and do some research. Like, goddamn. No one cares what the Kardashians are doing. Fuck all those fake plastic hoes.
If you don't want to be involved, then don't be involved.
But yeah, if your position is to just be uneducated, fine. But don't come bitching to me when the country's not going the way you want it to go. Sorry, bro. You didn't vote. You didn't educate yourself. See yourself out the door.
Yep.
I want to talk to you. Go watch what the fuck Kim and fucking whatever the fuck the rest of their names are. You just lose yourself in that. Or what the fuck else do the people watch these days? Oh, fucking The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Fuck that trash too. Garbage TV.
I like to watch Jersey Shore. It's my guilty pleasure.
I couldn't watch, dude. I tried long time ago to like watch a couple episodes, and then bitches is annoying as fuck, so I turned it off.
Anytime I watch it,
and now I live in the state where they're all from, and it's just the best.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
I don't actually go over there that much. That's probably part of the reason I haven't been to the beach that much with my wife, is because I just don't want to go over there where all those fucks are. I think the worst of it is down in like Atlantic City area, or in like South Jersey, where they got fucking thick Jersey accents and look like
Staten Island.
Oh yeah, fuck that noise. That's up in New York. Yeah. Anyway, that's my rant about educating yourself in reality TV. Shameless. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
And we're at an
hour and 17, so pretty good.
I've got softball in 37 minutes.
All right,
so I need to leave my house in about 15 or so.
So what you're saying is we have time to turn it over to chat if they have anything else.
Exactly what I'm
Shameless
saying.
And Lucifer's my shit, though. I'll give you... Shameless, I used to watch a lot. I'm really behind on that. Lucifer, on the other hand, I watched the shit out of, and I can't wait for the new season. Anything else, chat?
The Outsider is another good one on HBO I would recommend.
We just started watching Vikings, too. We're about up to season 2. Super dope.
I've heard that one's good.
Super good. It now has told me what I'm going to do with this side and what I'm going to do with my sleeve.
Nice.
So it's going to be dope whenever I get to it.
That's good.
Need lots of money, though.
Here soon, I'll just be coming home and turn on Cardinal baseball games. And
yeah, what are they doing? Like 60 games in...
60 games. Yeah, like 60 game season.
In like, what, 3 months?
I think so. That sounds about right.
That's insane.
Let's figure that out.
They're doing 20 games a month. Yikes. That's close to a game a day, basically. That's fucking insane.
Well, that's basically what they do.
I mean, yeah, it's basically what they do normally, but like it just seems so much more packed in because it's such a short time.
Yeah, and that's as long as nobody gets the COVID and
right. The NFL, all the players are tweeting out today that they want to play, but if the NFL can't figure out how to keep the players safe while they're doing it, then they don't want to fucking play.
Yeah, they're saying that they're gonna do like face shields and stuff though. So I was watching some inter-squad games today, some MLB inter-squad games, and a lot of guys are wearing masks, like the umpires are wearing masks. They're swapping out baseballs. Umpires have hand sanitizers clipped onto their belts.
My man's is going to be out there. Dude's going to be like, give me a ball. And the dude's going to be
like... Yeah. There's somebody... What was the pitcher? I can't remember who, but he had a ball, and... somebody got a ground ball out at first, so now they have to toss the ball, and he was like, no, I want that ball back. And they're like, no, it's done, the ball's done. He's like, man, I really like that ball. Very next pitch, gives up a home run. First pitch, fastball, home run. I'm like, it's already starting, dude.
Here we go.
Start bitching. They're already start bitching about balls. And...
Yep. All right. You guys don't have anything else for us this week? Outside of the video that the Ed Nut sent me about the fucking UFOs in San Antonio.
UFOs?
She didn't send you that?
Maybe she did.
She DM'd me on Twitter.
Oh, gotcha. She might have sent it to me.
Yeah, there was this dude just driving down the highway in Texas, and it looked like a goddamn UFO just chilling above his car or flying across the sky. It was insane.
Yeah. At least they gave us cats, though.
Yep. Thank you, aliens. If you ever listen to this, thank you for cats.
Yeah, and there's 433. The last one she DM'd me was there's 433,000 tweets about Pizzagate right now.
That's insane.
It's not showing in the U.S., but if you change your country settings, you'll see it.
Interesting. Of course, it's not showing in the U.S.
I think at this point in time, and this is the last thing I'll say about this, they're almost trying to, like, keep it hush so shit doesn't, like, start coming out too early. You know what I mean? So they can actually start going after a lot of those big-name officials.
Side note, they're protesting in D.C. for a full investigation for that military woman that was murdered. Oh, they're protesting in D.C. for Vanessa Guillen? Good. Good. I hope something comes of that. I hope the Army gets its ass handed to it.
Well, the dude that pretty clearly killed her and killed himself, he's already dead, but apparently there's another...
They still have his girlfriend, who's married to a former Army person, in custody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
If anything comes of it, she's going to jail for forever, and the Army's going to get its ass handed to it. Well, hopefully the Army gets its ass handed to it, because they bungled that whole fucking investigation so hard. Don't get me started again. If you want to hear me rant about it, go watch the other podcasts on YouTube.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you, YouTube. Speaking of, this episode will be out hopefully tomorrow. I'll edit it up real fast and chuck it on the YouTube channel hopefully tomorrow afternoon. Put the link in. Yeah, I'll pull the link up real fast. Hold on. I need to set up the fucking commands for this thing, but I'll do that tomorrow as well. But
you're the tech guy. I'll let you.
Yeah. All right. It's not gonna look so. The whole fucking thing with this is like every time I go to and try and put in like YouTube/What in the World podcast, doesn't pull it up. No idea why. So I just always have to go to the channel and like pull up the actual URL, so it's long as shit.
Works for me.
But that's the link to our YouTube channel. Speaking of YouTube, thank you guys so much for all the support and the views that we've gotten on the most recent episode from last week. Actually, I still have it pulled up. Let me look. We were up to... How the fuck are we at? No, we're not. We were at more views than 28. We're up like 30 something. I don't know why it's not telling me. Hold on. I'll go to YouTube Studio. Yeah, we're up to like... Nope, 29 views. We're at 29 views. I don't know how the views went down from 31, but we're there. So we're at 29 views, which is super cool. So I appreciate all the support on that. We got like 5 comments on it. Make sure to drop a like on it as well. That really helps.
That does help a lot.
The likes and comments really help. But yeah, so make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel with the bell icon turned on so you don't miss an upload when it goes up. I'll try and have them out usually Monday afternoons, evenings, but for whatever reason, if I don't, make sure that bell icon's clicked too, so you guys get the notifications when it goes up. And also do the same for Twitch here. So right next to the little heart button up there where you can follow, there's a bell icon. It should be turn notifications on for that, so you don't miss it when we go live. You should get notifications every time we go live on Twitch as well. So if you guys don't have anything else for us, we're gonna get out of here. So we'll see you next week. Socials are on the before and after screen. So when I throw the end screen up here, grab our socials. Follow us on Twitter, and make sure you guys follow the podcast on Instagram. I think it's What in the World, right? Or What in Duh World.
Yes.
On Instagram. I'll make sure to get the links for that as well. I'll put those in the description of the next video. And we'll see you guys next week after a wild week upcoming. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.
Love you guys. Be good to each other.